If money is a problem and you still want to set up business in 2021, here are some ideas of businesses that you can do in order to start making money. And then with this business, you can be able to actually expand your business. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get those credits rolling. Business number one is computer repair. As technology continues to improve, people are continuously buying new gadgets, new computers, new laptops. All this technology that is being bought sometimes goes down, sometimes doesn't work, and of course they'll need someone who can be able to repair. The only barrier to entry to this particular business is the knowledge of computers. So it actually requires you to have a basic knowledge of how computers or laptops work inside. That means that you probably need to have a degree or diploma in computer science or in the hardware option. That way you can be able to actually pick this and help people. And you don't even need to look far. All you just need to do is check even among your friends who has a computer that's not working, and you can even start the first one for free. And the reason that you're doing this is so that you can start getting referrals. You'll probably do a good job and even start getting referrals. As you go on, you need to put a price on the services that you provide. This just needs to sort out your time, any parts that you'll be buying, of course, and a little profit that goes along with that. A good percentage to actually put is after your cost, you put like 20-30% of the cost as your profit. Make sure that your time spent repairing these computers is added onto the expenses, so that the 30% I'm mentioning is actually just profit for your business. This is a business that you don't need a shop to do. You probably just need to advertise on social media and to your friends that this is something that you do. And of course, if you've done these courses, they'll probably ask you if you can be able to repair. So that's business number one, that you don't need a lot of money, but you can be able to actually start. Business number two is an adventure club owner. And I'll explain what that means. You see, right now, with the current state of things, most people are not traveling, not just because of the fact that it's harder to travel outside the country, but there are not very many ways that you can be able to have fun as you go around. So if you start an adventure club where you bring together your friends, you bring together people that love hiking, for instance, you can be able to organize all this and get paid for it. So this is how to get started in that particular business. Number one, find an activity that people love doing. For instance, climbing Mount Kenya, or going to the Menengai craters, or even going to Hell's Gate in Naivasha. All these are places that people love to go to as an adventure. Then number two, you need to calculate how much it would cost to transport or have this particular activity for, say, like 20 people. And that's a good number to actually start with. Then number three, you need to find out how you are able to get them there. What are the expenses that are involved? There would be transport, there would be food, you probably need photography as well. And even to save on some of these things, you can even do them yourself so that you save money there. Then when you're buying food, or when you're buying snacks, or you're buying drinks, you need to go and buy them at a wholesale place so that you get better margins as well. Then if you're carrying food that has actually been cooked, some of this can even be done half wherever you are, and then the other percentage is done at the venue, so that when people are starting the hike, you have your caterers or the people who are cooking starting to cook the food. Then by the time they are coming back 2 or 3 hours later, when they are very tired, the food is actually hot and ready, and this can be a good way to start. This is not a business that you really need to register in order to be able to start. But if you need to register your business, there's a video that I did that is up here. Registering a business is very simple, very straightforward, and I did a tutorial on the same. But business number two is starting an adventure club. Business number three that you don't need money in order to start but can still make you money in 2021 is content development. Right now, a huge percentage of us have smartphones, and of course, checking on my analytics, I see that 80% of the people who watch my videos are actually watching it on their phones. Most of your phones can actually be able to do good content, and good content is in terms of words, where you can actually have a blog. So the way to do this particular one is to have a company ask you to write content about their business, and this is something that a normal entrepreneur may not have time to do it, but they can actually pay you per blog that you've actually written for them, and they constantly have content on their blog to do this. And a good site that I've used before and even done a tutorial about is one called Bluehost. It's in the description below. You can be able to start a Bluehost site with just about 300 Kenya shillings per month, and you get a package for 36 months. This can be a good way for you to start. Of course, you'll charge them for this. You don't need to pay anything yourself, and you obviously have the website which they can be able to use. Using your phone as well, you can be able to take great images of the products or services that a business has, and you share that on social media. You can even do video content as well. Of course, this cannot replace the work of a digital media agency, which would be able to do flashier promotions. But as you're starting out, your creativity and the work ethic that you have will be able to start getting you one customer at a time. As you're starting, of course, the businesses that you're working with may not have a big marketing budget like the big companies in the country already do, but that is to your advantage. So you can be able to work with the budgets that they have in order for you to grow your business as well. The good thing with this particular business is that you don't need to do just one customer every single month. You can be able to have 6, 7, even 10 customers depending on how organized you are and how you are able to bargain with these clients. So you have multiple sources of income doing the same thing, and there are so many tools that you can be able to use in order to organize your workflow and in order to do as much business as possible. You can even charge per post, which influencers do, or now as a content marketer, you can be able to come up with a strategy plan for these businesses and help them to grow their businesses. If you love writing, business number 4 is definitely for you. This is writing of ebooks. You probably need to love writing or know how to tell a story, but I discovered recently from a friend of mine, his name is David, that I don't need to sit behind a computer or on my phone typing every single word that I want to put in a book. I'm planning to write a book on YouTube, and I'm actually in the process of it. So this process is one that I want to introduce to you as well. The service is called Otter, O-T-T-E-R. It's a speech to text software that you can be able to use, and the simple way it works just blew me away. You just speak the words that you want to write on paper, and then it translates that to text. Of course, with our accents and with the way the machine works, it gets about 90-95% of the words correct. But the good thing is, as you are recording this, it's also recording your audio as well. So you can be able to extract text and extract audio after you have recorded, and then all you're doing after that is just formatting, listening to your own audio, and then looking at the thoughts that you have as you are doing this. The other advantage of this particular software is that you get 600 minutes for free every single month. So at the beginning of the month, it actually resets the number of minutes that you have. I'll place it in the description below so that you can sign up, get started on it as well. If there's enough traction on the same, or there are enough questions about it, I'll probably do a detailed tutorial of how I found it useful for my own use. I have done this for a few days and even been able to get to about 7,000 words, which I know if I'd sat down a long time would have gone, because many times when you're writing a book, you're always formatting, you're always getting things off and on. But the secret to do this is just let your ideas flow. You'll format once you are done. this is a good way. Once you have completed your ebook, you can even be able to place it on Amazon Kindle or on other platforms where you can be able to publish it there. If you want to turn it into a hardcover copy as well, you can be able to do that as well. Of course, this will start making you money as time goes. Once my book is complete, I'll probably even do a launch here on YouTube and even place a promotion code on the same so that you can be able to see some of the things and even support the channel in that particular way. So business number 4 is writing your own ebook, and of course you don't need money in order to start this, but you need to spend good time actually making the ebook work. If you want other businesses that you can be able to start in 2021, check out this video that is above here, and the playlist below is of businesses that you can start in 2020. This video is sponsored by Mumo Photography. I'll see you in the next one.